Right, you're welcome back. And the show tonight, of course, we are discussing a number of things. We'll be talking about the EC, which says that it will be sticking with the Supreme Court's recommendations. Remember that protest in Kumasi yesterday by Let My Vote Count and other pressure groups, also supported by the New Patriotic Party. And also, of course, if you've been monitoring the news, there's a lot of debate about who has developed the regions best, and we'll focus on the Volta region before we go into other regions. My guest tonight is the Honorable Emmanuel Kyerematen Agyarko, who's Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wuogon. It's good to have you on the show this evening. Good to see you, actually. Yes. And also Abraham Amaleba, who is a member of the NDC legal team. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You stood me up the last time.
Yes, that's why I'm making up to you today, to ensure that I placate you. So that's why I'm here today. Okay. Hopefully you can do that. Okay. Now, Honorable Agyarko, I'll start with you. I'm sure you listened to the president when he visited during the launch or the commissioning of that hospital in Dodowa, and also comments that have come up later suggesting that they've done more for the Volta region, and so people in the Volta region should not be paying attention to comments that suggest that the NDC has actually ignored that particular region. We had some reaction from the NPP in the Volta region, and they seem to suggest that their party, the NDC, was trying to get the Voltarians to come up against the NPP.
Well, thank you for having me. This is my first time, and I'm happy that I have opportunity to be on the platform. Let me use this opportunity to say a very warm good evening to our viewers out there. And well, first and foremost, I must admit that I have not listened to the president. I have not listened to what he said, whether it was in Dodowa or anywhere else. This was in the Volta region. I have heard that when he went to the Volta region, and I stand to be corrected, correct me if I'm wrong, I have heard that when he went to the Volta region, he ultimately went on to say that, well, all the complaints they are raising, it's really not so. It is just that the NPP is whispering things into their ears, and they are parroting it back. That the NDC has not done much for the Volta region.
The NPP.
Well,
has not done much.
I stand to be corrected. I am saying that what my information is that His Excellency the President said in Volta region that it is the NPP that is saying things, and the people back in the Volta region have sort of bought into it and saying it back that the NDC has not done as much as they should have done for the Volta region. I stand for correction. But really and truly, if His Excellency the President said that, I find it's a little below the belt. This one is talk. It should be talk from people like me, foot soldiers. When you are the fountain of honor of this nation, I think that I can't come to terms with it, that His Excellency will go and stand before the people and say that, including chiefs and the most senior people in the region, and say that it is somebody who is telling you to say that somebody has not done well. I think it is ridiculous. Really and truly, if that is what happened. I have no cause to believe my sources, though, but I stand for correction. I think that I am surprised that the president could think along those lines. You see, if you do this, what you are telling the people that they are blind, they are deaf, and that they cannot make any distinctions in the issues that are before them. Indeed, with all of these things, I really and truly would want to hear when he met the chiefs, what did the chiefs tell him? When he met the chiefs in the Volta region, what did they tell him? Did they bear out all their 32 and patted him and said that you are the best thing that happened to our region. No, I don't think so. I have read something, again.
From Togbisiri.
Yeah, again. These days, all sorts of things come out and you cannot authenticate everything you hear and read. But if what I read, then the man was saying, well, Mr. President, you have done something. But really and truly, it is only scratching the surface. I think fundamentally, what the elders in the Volta region were saying is that you probably have built some roads, yes, but it is not affecting the lives and the livelihoods of our people. Ultimately, governance is about the man on the street. As for roads, all of us will use it. The people from Burkina Faso who use the Tema port would even drive on it and carry their load to Burkina Faso. But how about the young man that lives in Soviet? How about the young man? Oh, this was even in the Southern Volta. How about the young people who live in Angloga? How about the young people who have finished university, who have finished secondary school, who were terminated at JHS and can't find work to do? Did I read that the chief complained that so their lot now is to do things that they should not do? Frankly, His Excellency the President, they live there. They see what happens. They know that their wards and their children are not finding jobs. So don't say that somebody must have mentioned it to them. The good people of the Volta region are not blind. They clearly understand their circumstances. So I would say that I completely disagree with the President. As to who did more for who, I think that the people there should know better than me and you. And really, in this country, I want to believe that it is said that the worst government that came was the government of General Kuchwa Champong. That is now it is even a matter for debate. It is said, and he paid the ultimate price for it.
So
he was tied at the stake and shot.
He has a competitor now in this administration.
I am not even veering in that direction yet.
Okay.
I am saying that the worst government, it is said that the worst government that ever came into this country was that government. But even that one was credited with, today, we all look back and we will credit him with a lot of things. So you see, somebody did this and somebody didn't do this. For me, to quote His Excellency the President when he was vice presidential candidate in 2008, any government, anybody who is in power will do something. We'll build a road. We'll build a hospital. We'll build a school. And any government, any party in power that will use that as the basis for and tell the people to vote for me again, that is an exercise in mediocrity. I am quoting His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Okay. Abraham Amaliba.
Let me start by saying good evening to your viewers. Let's put this discussion in proper perspective. You had an opposition leader whose fortunes keep dwindling in the Volta region. Go to the Volta region, which is
your World Bank.
Our World Bank, our stronghold, to tell the people that the NDC is taking them for granted. So that is what is the genesis of all this. So let's put it in proper perspective. The president visits the region and tells the people of that region that, no, what the opposition leader came to say is not what is on the ground, and that his government has done more than the opposition leaders' government when they were in power in 2008. What is mediocrity about this? What is wrong about this? What is the issue that you expected this should have been a matter left to foot soldiers?
Like me.
Was it a foot soldier who went to the Volta region and told the people that the NDC is taking them for granted? If that person is a foot soldier, the president too is a foot soldier. So the president responded to Nana Addo's claim that the NDC was taking the Volta region for granted and called for the records, indicated that when it comes to the record of the NDC and the record of the MPP in the Volta region, we stand tall. That cannot be wished away. That cannot be contested. This morning, I heard some comments to the effect that it was the NDC that put up the whole polytechnic. That's a palpable lie. Because we all know that the whole polytechnic was established by the Rawlings administration. And indeed...
You mean the comments that the NPP put up the whole polytechnic, not the
exactly.
NDC? Right.
And so I'm saying that is a palpable lie. It was the NDC government, it was the Rawlings administration that put up the whole polytechnic. It's not the MPP. Yes, probably you could say that when the MPP came, they did some improvements to the facilities in there using the GET fund. And if I may even ask, who established the GET fund? It's the NDC that established the GET fund. So, one-on-one, what the president is saying is that, look, we cannot be taking the people of Volta region for granted. We have developed that region more than the NPP. But, see, every community...
Can I chip in a question here
every community needs development. And so there isn't going to be a time when a particular community will say that we are now satisfied, we don't need any development, it's hooray, it's uhuru. So if there are requests still coming and asking the president to do more, it is just to say that everybody, everywhere will need to improve. And so development does not come to an end.
It doesn't
mean that the NDC is not doing...
You were aware of a couple of protests that were staged in the Volta region last year, people demanding their fair share of the national cake, claiming that they are not being paid attention to in the Volta region. You're well aware of that.
That's why I indicated. This is my last submission.
That you cannot satisfy everybody's demand. But if they're talking about job creation, claiming that their youth are still unemployed, a lot of them, and it's actually increasing, what would be your response to that? My last submission
addresses that. See, the Eastern Corridor Road is being done. It's in the process.
He mentioned that roads will be done anyway.
No.
Because if you listen to Togbi Sri, for instance, he says all of that has been done, but the youth are now going into armed robbery, prostitution, and other things.
Nanaba, I'm saying that all these roads, the Eastern Corridor Road, throws up jobs. And tell me who are those employed in those areas on these roads.
How many jobs?
Nanaba.
Yes. Because these are not permanent jobs, you know that.
No, they are not permanent jobs, but they are jobs that can provide the youth with some monies to take care of their families. If they are not permanent, the contractor is a permanent person. He can continue to have jobs and will employ them. The contractor, his work is relatively permanent, and he can always get jobs to employ them. So this
So why would Togbi Sri say this?
That's what I'm saying. That, tell me, which government in this world has ever used 4 years to resolve all the problems of the people?
Your party has been in power for a while. Let me read this to you.
No.
I'm sorry.
Which government has ever done that?
None.
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 So once...
It is almost impossible.
Once the people are desirous for development, they will always ask for more.
Let me go for a story from 2009. The chiefs and people of Volta region are demanding their fair share of development projects, saying they are not the World Bank of the NDC, but kingmakers. The people made the demand at a Deborah of Chiefs, organized in honor of President Mills, may his soul rest in peace, when he was on a 3-day tour. Now, let me quote this one. Togbi Afede, president of the Volta Regional House of Chiefs, read text messages purported to have been sent to him by residents asking the Mills administration to reward them for their support in the December 2008 general elections. I'll read some of the messages. Please let the president know that we of the Volta region trust him. That is why we will not remind him of his promises to us. Some of the text messages read.
They are asking for more. They are not saying that nothing has happened in the voter. That's not what they are saying. They are asking for more. And I'm saying that every community asks for more. Mahama has been in government for just 4 years. You don't expect that he will be able to resolve all the challenges facing this country within 4 years. That is why I have made a point that there isn't one single government that has ever done that. So it's a continuum.
So,
but when you put the records.
So you're saying that President Mahama in 4 years has done more for the Volta region than the NPP did in 8 years?
That's it.
Really?
The records show.
Take us through.
We have established a university in there. That is development. You cannot wish that away, even if you don't support us. There is also this Eastern Corridor Road I talked about. A number of roads in the Volta region, home municipality, are being done. For instance, the road that leads to the university, the Allied University, is being done.
Right.
So, if you want more, I can give you the road to, is it Rora? It's been done.
But it's all part of the Eastern Corridor.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm telling you why I'm saying that we have done more. See, I can read them here for you. Look at them.
From the Green Book.
From the Green Book. The Bible. The Bible. The Gospel according to
Which page
John
is that?
Go to 102 to 103.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Huh?
Fortunately, I have a copy of your book.
Yes.
Yeah. The Eastern Corridor Road.
You've seen it there.
Yes.
You've seen
Volta region.
Hope for me. You've seen it there.
I've seen all of that.
Yes.
What this doesn't tell us, though, is how it contributed to a reduction in the unemployment rate in that region.
That's what I'm saying. That
how many jobs? You would know by now. Why is it not captured here?
I'm saying that there will be plumbers, there will be welders, there will be electricians, there will be masons,
and these
all
masons
being employed.
These masons,
you know that?
I know. These masons, plumbers, the artisans you will be mentioning, some of them are already engaged. They are working. For the teeming youth in the region who have graduated from universities and are not working, what sort of opportunities do these provide to them?
Oh.
Yeah.
You mean if roads are constructed, it doesn't inure to the economy of that community?
So what sort of jobs?
What sort of jobs like what?
Are these contributing or providing for them?
The university that is created, there will be librarians who will be employed in there.
Right.
The university that is created, there will be teaching assistants who will be there. Some of the youth who have skills, who have completed university, can be teaching assistants there. The hospital, you know, there's a hospital there.
I get your point,
so
but it would have been nice.
People will be employed in those areas. Don't forget, some of the 123 schools are also in there.
Fine. But Mr. Mani, before I go to Honorable Ejaku, don't you think it would have made economic sense if this book had told us the number of jobs potentially these developments would be creating?
Even the Bible doesn't have everything contained in it.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yes.
That's where you want to go with this. Okay, Honorable Ejaku, you can take on that.
Has the Bible contained everything?
You see, first and foremost, let me place this discussion in a good context. It is unfortunate for Amaba to sit here and say that the fortunes of my presidential candidate is doing.
Oh, look, check the results.
On the contrary.
Oh, check the results. Now you don't even have a parliamentary candidate in Volta region.
Amaba,
you know that. These are facts.
Amaba, it is not everything you said that I liked, but I kept quiet. I expect you to reciprocate. You see, check the results. Let your backroom staff check the results. In the last 2 elections, our overall aggregate in the Volta region keeps going up. So it is wishful thinking on your part to say that our fortunes are dwindling. Indeed, for us as a party, we think that the real area of growth is in the Volta region.
Really?
And we have no doubt in our mind that in the coming elections, if people think that they can get 1 million in Ashanti region, we are saying we are modest. Come wind, come weather, we will make 30% out of the vote in the Volta region.
And that will translate into seats?
Well, we hope so.
Right.
I am listening to
When Nanado said that the NDC is taking you for granted, what exactly did he mean?
Well, really and truly, that is what he meant. Just as we heard it. We are, and you see, it is not just Nana Addo who is saying this. I want to take it along this direction. Amaba is here reading from the only thing they have now is the so-called Green Book. The only thing they refer to is the so-called Green Book. So we have done the whole Fume Road.
Well, it has all the
factual
projects.
We have
I think
done,
you came from the circle. You've not seen circle how it looks like London now.
No.
Oh, really?
You've not seen.
It does?
Yeah, it's
So
become.
you see,
Okay.
it is so pedestrian. You are sitting on national TV and you are saying it looks like London.
Yeah, it's
What is
transforming
London?
into London. What your
You
problem?
are so pedestrian.
It is
This
transforming
government,
into London.
this NDC government
It is
is so
transforming into London.
pedestrian.
Is that a circle you know?
You are
This
so
circle,
pedestrian.
this circle you have
Okay.
seen. Is that why you know?
Mr.
So-
Baliba.
Since
you
you
raise
were
your
born,
shoulders
is
and
that a
say
circle you know?
Come
Mr.
on.
Baliba,
The circle you know. Is it how it is?
Okay.
Something is happening. Agree.
Let him make his point.
Change is happening.
Yes, we are building
So
an
why do you
overpass.
say that?
Okay.
So, but you see, I think that one of their ministers even said that very soon it will look like New York.
Yes,
Oh my goodness,
that's true.
This is so pedestrian. This is tunnel vision. They can't see beyond anything. But you see, the point I am making is this: talk about the
Kaswa will
the-
look like
the-
Paris
the-
if you don't want to hear more.
the Eastern Corridor. It's not new. President Kufuor did part of it. It is a road. In fact, there are 3 entries that must be done. There's a central, there's a western, and there's a western corridor, and there's an eastern corridor. The central seems to have been from time immemorial. It is necessary that the western corridor is done, and it is also very necessary that the eastern corridor is done. It has gone on for some time now. Talk about all the things that happen. In spite of all the things you say in your Green Book,
Yes.
Togbisri and all the elders in the Southern Volta region are saying that it is not scratching the surface.
They say they want more. That's not what they are saying.
They say,
He
they
said
say
that-
it is not addressing an
He said that
They
it is,
want
you see,
more.
today, the index that the United Nations uses is something called the Human Development Index. The center of development is not the road. The road only must go to improve the human quality. So build all the roads and let the human quality not improve. You have not done anything. This government, all it is saying is that we have done the roads. But how has it affected the human quality? The young men finish school and they can't find jobs. The poverty is deepening. The poverty is deepening. So this for the chiefs. So you do the roads, and so what? You build a school, and so what?
For your 8 years
You
that
know,
you were in
that-
power,
so schools are not important.
how much improvement did the Kufuor regime bring to the people of the Volta
Oh,
region?
I think that it is a lot within the context. You see, it is all context. It's all in a context. It's all in a context. I can talk about. I was just trying to say that I don't have the specifics, but the Eastern Corridor Road, part of it was done by the Kufuor administration. Number 2, for me, the major arterial road to the Volta region, the Tama Afla Road, was tackled with full vim. I can only talk about these two because that is what I know as I sit here off my head. But you see, I have said that let us put it in context. In the 8 years that we were in government, the total amount of money that was available to us for development was 20 billion. In the 7 years you have been, the total amount of money that has been available to you is over 200 billion. So let us put it in context. Your government has borrowed money more than anybody else. Your government has collected taxes more than anybody else. Your government has had opportunity to have revenue, a revenue stream that was not available to this country from the time of Gordon Gadgesberg. Thank God. Under a watchful, focused government, oil was discovered. You came and inherited it. In the last 4 or 5 years, we probably have made a couple of billions out of it. So you see, you want to compare, we built 3 kilometers of road with what money? Nanaba. Two rivals in the kitchen saying that my soup smells better than yours, my soup is tastier than yours. How much housekeeping money did you have? You want us to go into those details? But I'm saying, and I want to agree with His Excellency the President when he was Vice President, that any government whose focus, the only thing they talk about is that we have built a road, we have built a hospital, we have built the school, is an exercise in mediocrity. I have said.
What else do you want him to say? What else do you want him to talk about? I mean, if they're investing such monies in infrastructural development, he has every right to talk about it.
I have no difficulty. I have absolutely no difficulty. It must be done.
Right. So what is your problem
It must be done. But at the end of the day, when you sum all of it up, I am saying that the only reason why the good people of this country are supposed to have voted for President John Mahama and the NDC was to improve their lives. For me, the measuring rod is, can the people say their lives have improved? And I will say, together with Toby Siri, he stated unequivocally that our lives are not improving. The human development is not coming. Our children are not finding jobs. Our girls are becoming prostitutes. It cuts my heart to hear things like this. And recently it was in the news. I say that if what they report in the news is true, in my own area, Ningo Pram Pram, they are saying that the girls don't go to school. They go to the beach and sell themselves for fish. How can this happen? So you hit your chest and say that I have built the road, but this is what is happening. Long term, if the girls are doing this, what is the hope for this country?
You see,
Mr. Maliba,
I'm shocked that he should sit here and say that girls are going to prostitution. Is it under this regime that girls started going to prostitution?
No, he's quoting a report.
Is it
he
only
is quoting a report.
Very convenient to do.
Is it only in this regime?
Very convenient to do. Prostitution.
Do you know the oldest profession?
Is the oldest profession.
Do you know the oldest profession?
But the chief is talking about it.
So the girls should go into it?
The chief is talking about it.
To use that and say that means that the economy is not doing well.
But we'll find a way.
To say that because
the chief is talking about it, that is
the economy is not doing well.
Mr. Maliba,
it's to be disingenuous.
I am not saying it. That is the index the chief is using.
I have
Mr.
told
Maliba,
you that.
yes. If prostitution has existed since time immemorial, and we know that it's a big problem, we find ways to reduce it.
So why is he making it look like it is now that
I am quoting the chief.
He's quoting a report.
A report.
I am quoting the chief.
You don't quote a report which report does not further your argument. Your argument is that because there's prostitution, it must have been under this administration. Why?
But you heard from a chief in a region that
I have
you
told
claim
you
is
that.
your World
I have
Bank,
told
and
you.
he's obviously worried
Nanaba.
that the youth in his region
Nanaba.
are taking to robbery, prostitution,
Nanaba.
and other vices.
Are you saying that there is no university established in the Volta region?
Absolutely not.
Are you saying that these roads that I have mentioned are not ongoing and some have completed?
Absolutely not, and I'm sure this chief is
So
well
what
aware.
I am saying is that the chief is only asking for more to be done. This government is aware of that, and this government would address those concerns.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay.
See, you talking about oil money, and that this government has borrowed more than probably your government. As a result of that, we have borrowed more. As a result of that, we are putting in place massive infrastructure development in this country. This country looks like one complete construction zone. You see all manner of infrastructure springing up. That is what your money has been used for. We need to expand this economy. We need to ensure that this economy has.
It's only growing at 4%.
We need to
expanding.
We need to put
this economy is not expanding.
Wait. We need to put in place infrastructure that would enable this country to take off.
So the economy is expanding, Mr. Maliba. The economy is expanding at what rate?
Look.
At what rate? And while I said, I want you to zoom into agriculture to tell us the rate of growth in that sector.
No. I'll come there.
Okay.
This economy
is doing well, and we have been told that this economy in the West African sub-region.
Did you see the
West
Fitch's recent
I want
ratings?
to come there.
Okay.
This economy is the second largest economy in the West African sub-region. Fitch recently downgraded some countries, including China.
And
I heard
Ghana.
China.
And
Ghana.
Ghana.
No, Ghana was maintained. Ghana's rating maintained.
Minus what?
Ghana's rating maintained. Look, what we are saying is that some countries were downgraded. Ghana maintained. You can't take that away. Check your internet, your facilities. They'll tell you. Ghana was maintained. Ghana's rating was maintained. At what rate or at what level it has been maintained. So if you look at what is happening, where we have gold prices plummeting, you have oil prices plummeting, only cocoa, and cocoa is not doing as much as we expected in terms of revenue, you would see that there is something happening to this economy. If not, this economy would have grounded to a halt with the fact that gold, oil prices have plummeted. Yet, this country, the government is still capable of holding this country at float. See, if we were going to say that this country was not doing well, you wouldn't have had reports that say that Ghana is the 8th best country to do business in. You know the Forbes report? You know the Forbes report, which says that Ghana is the 8th best country to do business in Africa. If this country were a banana state, as they want to claim, if this country were not doing well, we wouldn't have had this rating. Sometimes when you listen to the MPP, as if during their time, there was only a milk flowing on the streets of Ghana, and people could just fetch and drink. This government has put in place all the necessary measures. That is why the president has indicated that in 2017, 2018, 2019, the people of this country will now begin to feel the impact of the developmental projects.
When they've lost their jobs and you have no idea how much poverty they are wallowing in, they have to wait till when before they start.
Jobs? Wasn't your mama who went about switching people's lives off?
Oh,
it
really?
It was as a result of years of neglect of that sector.
From who? Neglect
from as a people. We neglected the sector. You know that every year we have to add on to the sector.
So it is not this administration.
It is not this administration
people lost their jobs.
I'm saying that
on such grand scale.
I'm saying that years of neglect resulted into what we saw. And we saw that because we neglected the sector for so long, this is the outcome of it.
If it was so for so long, did you inherit a power crisis in 2008? Or 2009?
Sometimes.
Did you?
Sometimes.
Did you? It's a simple question, Mr. Maliba. Did you? Did you?
No, but let me explain.
Okay.
No, let me explain.
Please go ahead.
If there is a poor program, its negative effects will be felt years later. So if we have neglected the sector for that long, don't expect that probably the negative effects of our neglect would have been felt the very same year that the sector was neglected. It is as a result of the years of neglect. The outcome is what we have seen.
Okay.
So,
okay.
If you
Let me take you back to Fitch.
Yes.
When Fitch says that your credit ratings is B, but with a negative outlook, and that the economy is exposed to serious shocks due to rising external deficits and fears of spending outside the approved budgets.
We were already at B negative, so they've maintained us there. That's what I'm telling you.
You don't go further.
Where would you go?
Madaba, they have maintained us there.
You will see.
They have maintained us there. They have maintained us there.
But are you happy with this? But for an economy that is expanding, for an economy that is expanding, you would have thought that would leave B negative to B.
No. What I'm saying
that
is
an improvement.
If we were that bad, as the impression being created by them, they would have taken us off completely.
To where?
To junk. Yes, to junk.
But where are we now?
That is why
we are still where we are.
That's the next.
We are still where we are.
Okay.
They have not said that this country is not progressing.
Okay.
What I am saying is that.
But you are saying that the economy is expanding, so I would have thought the reflection of that would be an upgrade in our rating. No.
The economy is taken into perspective holistically.
Okay.
We are talking about infrastructure. Our argument, myself and you, with him, we are talking about infrastructure.
Okay.
They don't look at only infrastructure to grade.
All right.
You understand? So
Okay.
since the discussion is on infrastructure, I'm saying that we need this infrastructure layout to be able to take off.
Okay.
And the tough decisions have been taken already. The tough decisions have been taken on already. Now, the president has indicated, and I agree to that, that in 2017, 2018,
we'll feel money in our pockets.
We'll begin to feel the impact of these projects that are being put in place.
Okay. Honorable Eja.
I mean, when the man can't do it, every day he'll tell you, I'll do it for you tomorrow. This business of next year, it will be better. It has become the mantra of His Excellency President John Mahama. From 2012, he has always said that next year it will be better. I say it's, and that is what it is. Every year he says that next year it will be better. Today he has an election staring in his face. He knows he's losing grip, and then he's telling the good people of this country, he went somewhere and said that next year I will put money in your pocket. So as of now, all of us must eat grass and suffer and die and wait for next year. No, I don't think that is what governance is about. Governance is to make my life good today. They find it convenient to say they have taken the tough decisions. Who brought the need to take the tough decisions?
Said the whole nation over the years. We failed
to
invest.
We failed.
In 2012.
What happened?
In 2012.
What did you do?
This government overspent by over $4 billion.
We are talking about the energy sector.
That is what. It is that effect. That is that mismanagement. That I don't know the word to use.
Before the elections, you mean?
Yes. And this is what has affected us in the last.
But it
4
happens
years.
in every election year.
No, it doesn't happen in every election year.
It happened your time, you went
in
about
2004,
67.
it happened.
You went.
In 2008,
Your
it happened.
You went.
You don't even know. That's your time.
You went 11.
I'm saying
You went 11.
you are denying that it doesn't happen.
You went 12.
I'm telling you what happened during your time.
During our time.
Yes, you
the
went
world
above.
went into a financial
During our time, cocoa prices are down.
Where?
During our time,
To where?
oil prices are down.
To where?
To what is where? You
Look,
don't know oil
if
prices are
they
down.
talk if they
You don't know
talk about
oil prices are down.
Look,
you don't know oil prices are
let
down.
everybody in Ghana clearly understand that we are a net importer. So when the oil prices is down, it is better for us than if you are a
But
net
our
exporter.
budget is affected.
Oh, no, but and so what?
When
so
the
if you
oil
didn't
prices
have
come
oil,
down.
so if look, all of a sudden you have oil for 4 years.
Gold.
If oil goes down for 4 years,
Gold.
you can't manage.
Gold has come down.
What kind of management is this?
Cocoa is a bit, but not so doing well.
My friend,
And yet
people
this
in
country
our
is
time,
floating.
there was no oil. We managed. Everything went haywire. Oil went up to 147. We managed. One commodity goes down.
What
in any
manage?
case,
Should we take you back to your time?
Take
When
us
you
back.
sold Ghana Telecom.
But
to
you are not
come back
selling.
to
You think you are not selling?
When you sold Ghana Telecom.
you are not selling.
Your
You are
time.
not selling.
Your time.
You have sold
your time.
300.
Your time.
Alright.
You
have
sold
sold
Ghana Telecom.
300.
To
Let
pay
me
workers.
Shame on you. You have sold 300.
Ghana Telecom.
You are selling
And
today. You are
that
selling.
it was better.
You have sold that. There's
Huh?
nothing to sell.
How
You
was it
people-
better?
Okay.
You have
It
sold
was
that.
better when you sold.
Alaba, you people,
You
you have
sold.
sold
You
that.
sold the Ghana
Okay.
Telecom.
All
You
right.
people, you have sold that. There's
sold
nothing to
Ghana
sell.
Telecom.
You come and sit here
You
and,
sold
and
Ghana
glory
Telecom.
in the fact that Fitch has not downgraded you. There's nowhere to go. You are in the mud already.
Your economy at that time
You are in the mud
was
already.
bad to the extent that you had to sell Ghana Telecom
But you
to pay salaries.
today you don't even have.
You know
but
it.
you borrow. You use treasury bills to pay salaries. So
Okay.
you borrow money to pay salary every month. You have to borrow money to pay salaries.
That is
oh come on.
not.
All right,
I'm
let me
gonna
take
say
some
that's a lie.
messages so that the two of you can calm down. Samuel Brian Boabing on Twitter says, Mr. Maliba should stop the propaganda analysis. It is public knowledge that Ghanaians are suffering, including myself, referring to himself. Benjamin Yemo, widening of the infrastructure base should correlate with the GDP growth, but the economic indicators show otherwise. The almost honorable, he calls himself, says, okay, I don't really understand. I think he's reacting to something else. Samuel comes back to ask, how do you jubilate over something that's a responsibility of every government? And he's talking about infrastructural developments. Kuyi Pao Ivan says, Ghanaian politics have been reduced to comparison. NDC this, NPP that. Unfortunately, that is very true. Lawyer Amaliba is just playing political gimmicks. We are here and we are very much unemployed. Khalid Shabir says, the so-called Green Book that says Honorable Ejiakor says the so-called Green Book. Well, it is a Green Book, not red. That's what he says. It's just a comment from. I can't wait for Mr. Maliba to lose his temper. That is from Evans. Mr. Maliba, you are noted for something.
I'm in control, so there's no.
He's in so much control. Okay. And now, but please don't allow Mr. Maliba to commit blasphemy against the Holy Book in the name of politics. Okay.
Does the Bible contain everything? Is that also
well, I wouldn't know. Well, I don't know that much. I really don't know.
I think
very convenient for you to say.
Okay. Honorable Ejiakor, the NPP has not shown any sign that they're in the position to take more than 14 seats. From where? I don't think he said they were taking 14 seats in the Volta region, unless you're talking about something else. Let me go to the other timeline.
We won't get 14 seats.
Yeah.
We won't.
Okay.
We are realists.
All right.
No way.
We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Electoral Commission. Do stay with us.
This is former President J.J. Rawlings, and you're watching State of Affairs on GH1.
You're welcome back, and many thanks for your contribution. The hashtag to use across all social media networks, including Twitter, is State of Affairs, and we'll be happy to read it with the rest of the world. Of course, we're streaming live as well on gh1tv.com and on YouTube as well. Later, you can go check out the episodes if you missed them on my YouTube account. You find me there, Nana Abba Anamwa. Honorable Ejiakor, let's talk about the Electoral Commission. By the way, you heard about the reshuffle there, the reported reshuffle there. Any comments on that?
Well, I don't know what to say. It lies in the bosom of the commission to do what they want to do.
Absolutely.
The only thing is that sometimes, you see, when, I mean, I've had opportunity to be ahead of an agency before. Sometimes when you take some actions, no matter how well intended, it can easily be misconstrued. I don't want to go ahead of myself because really and truly, I don't know. I'm not properly nuanced. But you would want to ask, why are the two changed at the same time? My understanding is that if you want to do a reshuffle, you must, there's something called institutional memory, so that you'll be able to maintain a certain amount of institutional memory. You don't change all the people at the same time. Things happen that, it is not everything that happens that is recorded. There are many things that happen and the people remember it. My understanding, my reading is that the boss has been changed and probably the second has been changed. So who is going to retain that institutional memory? I don't know. I really and truly don't want to go ahead of myself, like I said, but it lies in their bosom if they think that this is the best way to do it. Maybe they are uncomfortable about something, I don't know, but whatever actions, whatever the intentions, whatever the motives, maybe one day all of it will play out and we will see. But I want to be guarded in what I say and say that, well, I have had opportunity to make changes when I was head of an agency before. Maybe you misunderstand me, but yeah. I tell you, as for the motives, people do things. If the motive is pure, you will find out. If the motive, there is an ulterior motive, eventually it will come out.
Okay. Honorable, Mr. Maliba, yes, you want to comment on that?
Yes. It doesn't mean that anytime there is some changes, internal changes, then it means that those affected are not performing well or that they must have done something wrong. Probably the assignment they gave them has been accomplished, and so they need to be given new challenges or tasks. And so these changes that we have heard did not come with any reasons. But let's not ascribe to those changes some negativity and say that probably they were not doing their work well or that something has gone amiss. I think that the EC is positioning itself in such a way that it will be able to deliver the 2016 November election. So it will do all manner of changes within
its internal system and ensure that it delivers well. So I wish them well, and I think that in their new rules, one is going to the administration, another is going to the protocol. They will continue to perform the rules that those rules, and then the new people coming will be able to live up to the task.
Okay, now let's talk about the main issue now, the Supreme Court's recommendations. Of course, at some point we're all asking questions, when will these recommendations be implemented? Will they be implemented at all? Well, the EC has come out to tell us that they will be implementing those recommendations. Of course, if you follow the protest in Kumasi yesterday, tagged Bamuyada, we wouldn't agree. The protesters sought to ask questions about when this validation, another recommendation to the EC, will be implemented. Honorable Ijakwa, I'll let you have the first say.
Very well. Thank you. I think that there's an attempt to send us back. I don't believe that.
An attempt by who?
I will get to it.
Okay.
I think that my explanations.
Okay.
I don't believe that, as of now, anybody is asking for a new register. I hear and read in some of the media that we are asking for a new register. Nobody is asking for a new register now. We have all come to a point where, even though we didn't agree up initial, we have come to a point where we are saying that Electoral Commission, headed by Mrs. Osei, is that her name?
Yes.
If you set out a committee and the committee makes recommendations and you come out there to tell all of us that you accept all the recommendations, then the expectation of the reasonable man is that you will go according to those recommendations. One of the clear things that were recommended was that the attempt at putting, they call it display, isn't it? Exhibition. Does not solve the problem. The committee that you said that you must find a way. I think they even named a number. For instance, there may be about 600,000 people. Find a way to expunge it. Find a way to delete it. Find a way to validate what you have. And I believe that the word they used was validate. So, where is the difficulty?
Well, the EC hasn't said they won't validate.
No, but they have brought out their timetable.
And it is not in there.
It is not in there. If in the timetable it was clearly stated that we will do this, we will do this, we will do this, I hear today, for instance, I'm hearing that His Excellency the President is talking about nobody should pressurize the EC.
In fact,
who is pressurizing the EC?
To quote him, stop harassing.
Who has harassed the EC? Mr. President, what is harassment?
Is that what you do to the courts?
Are you saying that? But
when you file your case in court, do you go and tell the judge to do this at this time? You are harassing the EC.
But you see, is the
EC a court?
I'm saying that
it is
allow state institutions to work.
EC is an administrative. What are we saying? We are saying that, Madam, you said that you are going to do this.
Who told you that the courts are not administrative? They don't have administrative roles. They have administrative roles. The registrar there plays an administrative role.
I'm a semi-literate, so don't worry.
Allow state institutions to work.
Who is not allowing state institutions to work?
When you went this premature ejaculation of a demonstration, you went and did. These people are saying that they told the IPAC. They told IPAC. They told IPAC.
Mr. Maliba, he was on the floor.
I think you have your turn.
Okay.
I think you have your turn. So all we are saying, let's not anybody misconstrue what we are saying. Don't put words that we are not saying in our mouth. All we are saying is that, Madam, the committee that you set up, number one, you said that you will go according to their recommendations. There is a bit about validation. We are not hearing about it. In the time.
So it's the silence that is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to go about it, for us it is a major. It is a major part going forward. So what are you doing about it? Unless you have heard something Nanama. So tell me.
Aren't you, the NPP and the other pressure groups, mounting too much pressure?
No.
Maybe unnecessary pressure on the EC, really?
No, look, Nanaba.
Because imagine
face
if
it.
all political parties were getting up in the morning to demand A, B, or C from the EC.
What is wrong? What is wrong?
Where would we?
It
Will
is-
the EC be able to carry out its
I
mandate
I
at
think
all?
that it is a justifiable demand or expectation. I think we must clearly understand what elections is about. It is such an
Why
important...
don't you channel it through IPAC? You have IPAC meetings. Why hit the streets? Why the protests?
In any case, let my vote count. It's not on IPAC.
No, it is not.
Yeah, so they have
But
every right to.
you joined IPAC.
Yeah,
NPP
it's okay.
joined IPAC.
Who joined IPAC?
NPP joined Let's My
Yeah,
Vote
it's okay.
Count. Yeah.
It's okay if they bring the demonstration to Accra and I'm disposed, I will go.
Okay, and they did it once in Accra, you remember? It's
Yeah.
violent.
So I don't think that we are asking for too much. All we are asking for is that the Electoral Commission says they will go according to the text. Okay. We are saying that we are not seeing that trajectory. Madam, what are you doing about it? I think that we are asking reasonable questions. Nobody is putting pressure on anybody.
Okay, let me call the president. The president says,
respectfully, I completely disagree with His Excellency the President.
I'll read his quote here. I believe the Electoral Commission should be left in peace to do its work. This harassment is not necessary.
Nobody is harassing the Electoral Commission. I think that as a people, every Ghanaian has a right to ask. And when you ask, it is not harassment.
Okay.
Who has gone there and put a blazing gun at the head of the commission? Nobody has done that. So it's His Excellency the President saying that we have no right to ask for what we think we should ask. It's rightfully ours.
Okay.
Come on.
But you know
Yes.
that there was a concern raised by one of the MPP stalwarts in the Ashanti region. He was the former regional minister in the Kufuor administration. He indicated that the popularity of the MPP has dwindled in the Ashanti region, and that those days when MPP had a program in Ashanti region, you saw the enthusiasm. This time round, there's no such enthusiasm. I think the demonstration that they had, which I call premature ejaculation of a demonstration, was to test their popularity in Ashanti region. Else, what was amiss, what was wrong before they went for the demonstration?
Well, if it was to test their popularity, then they are very popular.
So they were
Look
to
at the
test.
numbers that turned out.
Yes, so I'm saying that
Okay.
they should dab it, test my popularity, the MPP popularity demo, and not to say about EC. Look, majority of those who were there at the demonstration are MPP followers. MPP has a representation.
How do you know?
Oh,
Were they wielding cards bearing NPP colors?
It's open secret. Let my vote count, and then AFAG are a sidekick.
Like CJ is a sidekick
of the MPP.
Like CJ is a sidekick of the NDC.
So all the people who turned up yesterday,
I said majority
all the Kaya
of
Ye,
them, or
majority
of them. But why? There are Kaya Ye MPP, and there are Kaya Ye NDC, and there are Kaya Ye farmers, there are MPP farmers, there are just as
who
there
are
NDC
concerned.
lawyers.
It's not about they being NPP or NDC. They are concerned.
So what I'm saying is that the MPP sits in IPAC. Decisions are taken in IPAC. This matter of validation came up. And the EC explained to the IPAC representatives that because they were going to do limited registration, it is not proper and wise to do validation. Then, after the limited registration, you do another validation. So they are waiting so that when you finish the new one they are going to do, the limited one. When they finish the limited one, then they will just do the validation once and for all. You don't do validation for one, then when you capture people, you do another validation. So the EC told the representatives at IPAC, this is how they will do it. After that, they held a press statement, and we all heard it. Now, if there are people who have some diabolical mind and want to create problems on the EC, decide to ignore what the EC has said.
How can you call a protest a demonstration which is within their right? How do you call it like diabolical?
if you are aware that somebody is working towards a certain agenda and you still go on
Give me a minute. Let me talk to Ben Efsin, who's joined us. He wants to contribute to this particular discussion. Thank you for joining us, Uncle Ben. And by the way, we'll be having his countdown pretty soon on the show. Thanks for joining us, Uncle Ben.
Good evening to Honorable Jacob. Good evening to Amaliba.
Good evening.
Yes,
you wanted to
I just wanted to make a point concerning the issue of validation.
Okay.
Nowhere in the recommendation did the committee spell out the way a manner validation could be done. From what I've read of the validation, some have suggested that you go at the exhibition and produce an ID to say that you are Maliba or you are Ejako or you are Efsin. That means if you don't go and produce that validation, your name should be expunged. I think that voting in Ghana is not compulsory. So when exhibition is done, I or you, we are not bound to go and see whether our name is in it. If election day comes and I go and I don't see my name because I did not check, that's my matter. But I think that the EC decision, which has been communicated at IPAC, is that when exhibition is done, when you go and check your name, they are going to use a method that I think is even better than any ID card. They are going to ask you to put your thumbprint on the machine, and your data will pop up. Because I have a funny feeling that by trying to insist that you must bring an ID, that is an attempt to disenfranchise those who had registered earlier with health insurance cards. The Supreme Court ruling is not with effect. It said henceforth. So those insisting on ID cards, if you don't come with your ID card, your name will be expunged, presupposing that voting is compulsory.
All right. Thank you very much, Ben Efsin, for joining us on this particular discussion. I mean, he provides some insight.
It is his opinion.
The recommendations didn't state what sort of validation.
It is his opinion.
That would be implemented.
I will not contest him. It is his opinion.
How is it his opinion?
Well,
if it is clear in black and white that the sort of validation to take place was not stated in the recommendation.
Yes, but who is saying that it was stated?
But he goes on to explain that even during the exhibition, the validation can be done.
Well, can be. You see, the crux of this matter is that we are saying...
I've not finished.
All right, okay.
Nanaba.
So can you just
let him finish. I'll come back to it.
So the demonstration for me was premature because you heard Ben Efsin make the point that at IPAC, these statements were made that the validation will be done only after we have done the limited registration. And I'm sure they were all aware, even those leaders of the demonstrators were aware. On the validation that Ben Efsin put out. You see, people are waiting to sue the EC, and I can tell you, if the EC adopts a position which says that you must come with an ID, and if you don't come, your name will be expunged. People are ready to sue the EC for expunging their name from
because they are not showing up.
Because they are not showing up. That is not a way to check whether
because really and truly, if you are sick, for instance, if you're on admission on the day the register is being exhibited and you don't show up and your name is expunged, you would have been disenfranchised.
Yes. And people have moved from their workplaces to their villages to register. And if on that day they have not been granted permission, they can't travel back and do it. So that would be dangerous, and that would see a situation where there will be multiple suits against the EC. So like he's saying, the mode of validation has not been communicated, but we wait to see how the validation will be done.
Honorable Ejako.
Well, first and foremost, let me say that I think it is, for me, I think it is arrogant for anybody to sit and determine that what this group did was of no consequence. It is, I think it is arrogant. I mean, who determines, you, Amalba, you have no right to determine how I play out my life.
Absolutely.
I think it is arrogant for you to sit and say that whatever it is.
But I can comment on your life if it is a public issue.
Yeah,
so I'm commenting on what they are doing.
And
which is within their rights, Mr. Maliba.
Yes, it is my right to also describe what they did.
Okay.
As to the effects, you see, he is stopped from saying it was a failure because he saw the numbers. So now he's saying that it was only a test. It is not. He is trying to find another way to describe it. He's entitled to it. Mr. Benefson's intervention, it is his opinion. I will not contend him on his opinion. I hold my opinion. He holds his opinion. Ultimately,
wasn't he explaining?
I don't. Well,
because it does make sense.
No. He was even imputing motives that I think that he is saying that he thinks that the reason why is for people. Then he's bringing in the issues about national health insurance cards. And he also has an opinion. It is his opinion. I want to say that I respect his opinion. He's entitled to it. I will not contend him. I hold my opinion. He's not supposed to accept mine as canon. All right. So that is it. But you see, the difficulty in all of this is that if you agree, like we are saying now, that you have gone to IPAC and said that we will do the validation, and you put out a timetable, and there is no indication. The timetable is a roadmap, and there is no indication as to when this will happen. Everyone, I will be worried. We go and agree on something, and then you issue a roadmap, and the thing that we have agreed on is not reflecting in the roadmap. I have every right to ask.
The roadmap came before.
The roadmap was communicated in December.
Long before this issue of validation. So it's not as if the validation was considered and the EC did not include
So what they are asking for is an insertion if it's really going by the recommendations.
But IPAC is an organ. It is recognized, even though it has no legal back, but it's recognized. And that's where we all go there to judge. So use the IPAC process.
Okay. Let me take a few comments before we go for Benefson's countdown, and then we can wrap up on the show. Nkironi says, Nanaba, please sit in between your panelists the next time. I can see some blues. No, they're gentlemen. That will never happen. Let the Electoral Commission do its job, and he adds Tom to that. That's from Ferdinand. White Rice, he calls himself on Twitter, says, Mr. Maliba says Circle looks like London now. Is actually a question. Please ask him if he's been to London before, because I can't think far. Mr. Maliba, really?
What is the question? That Circle is not.
You said Circle looks like London.
Yes, when it's finished, it look like London. And
I'm saying that it's looking like London now.
Oh no, but it is not yet completed. When it's completed, it will look like London.
What did he say?
It will look, and I'm saying that Kaswa will now look, if it's complete, look like Paris. Yes.
I don't know whether it's like London or New York. Abraham is saying it's London. I think His Excellency the President said it's New York. So, but I find it very pedestrian.
Not pedestrian.
I find it extremely pedestrian.
Okay, let's go for Benefson's countdown now.
Hi. Yesterday, Greater Accra is a swing constituency, but we gave the examples of safe seats for the NDC and NPP. Today is Central Region. What do we have for you? One of the swing seats is Commander Edena Iguafu Ebiri. It is swing because it's a constituency where the electorate are very smart. They can decide to do skirt and blouse easily. You joke with them, remember the name, so only about people. Commander Edena Iguafu Ebiri, KEEA, has about 37 electoral areas, but Elmina is one, Bacano, and Elmina Castle is in this constituency. That is the easiest for you to have an idea of the reach. Commander Edena Iguafu, KEA is swing. 2008, NDC won the seat, but you can see that the swing nature came out in 2012. In 2008, the margin of it was about 3,000. And 3,000 with a voter population of 66,000 is nothing much to write home about. But in 2012, we've talked about this before, when the defeated NDC aspirant decided to go independent, he realized that he got more than the NDC's own candidate. That's a swing constituency for you. Swing in the sense that NDC's strength was about 28,000, almost 29,000 in KEEA. Because they didn't like the incumbent MP who won the primaries, 15,000 of them voted for the NDC activists who had gone independent at Tokwasi. That is swing for you, because you do not know the dynamics there. People there are politically very active. That is why you have to be very careful. That gives you a typical example of a swing constituency. Maybe you have another swing constituency for you. Efutu constituency, the capital of Efutu is Winneba. That is what there used to be the Deer Hunt Festival. There are about 18 electoral areas in Efutu. We have Alatakwado, Domiabra, the police training depot. We have Kojobedu and Iswechil. This is Winneba. In 2008, the NDC won the seat with a margin of 3,000. In 2012, the MPP candidate, Afenyo Makin, won with a margin of about 2,000. But it is swing because John Mahama won the presidential with 145 votes. You are wondering why? If you see Afenyo Makin's name, the middle name Afenyo means part of his parentage is from the Volta region. And there are a lot of persons, fisher folk on the coast in Winneba who are from the Volta region. So we've talked about only 4% voting because of ethnic reasons. But in close constituencies like this matters. So you had people from the Volta region who are on the coast deciding that, look, let's vote for our son Afenyo Makin, vote for John Mahama. That's why I think Afenyo Makin's margin was 2,000 in favor of MPP in the parliamentary, but the presidential John Mahama won by 145,000. This year is going to be very interesting. Afenyo Makin will still play on that card, and the NDC candidate, Don Arthur, is going to also play his home card. I know he's fair colored, and they'll say, oh, mi bro Nyaba. So we'll see mi bro Nyaba and mi bro Nya Igbeni. See you.
Can't speak Fante.
Can't speak Efutu.
Welcome back. Who can speak Efutu? Okay, sorry. I caught you there. Yeah. All right. We are wrapping up. We've got a few, about 4 minutes to go. Would you want to comment on the countdown briefly? Or you want to use this opportunity to wrap up on what we've been discussing and tell electorates why they should be voting for your candidate and your candidate? Honorable Ejakun, I'll let you start.
Well, I think we've had an interesting discussion this evening. I'll go back to the first discussion. I will want to say that Ghanaian has gone beyond. I built the road. I built the school. I built the hospital.
In fact, before you go, let me just read a story here I just saw on My Joy Online that says the former Works and Housing Minister, Kwamina Batel, says former President Kufuor undertook a lot of developmental projects in the Volta region, though he did not receive the full support of the people. He explained that though the Keta Sea Defense Project started during the regime of the NDC, it was the NPP government that completed it. He said President Kufuor's government found the contract awarded by the NDC government to the Ghanaian construction firm, Pentrex, very strange. Okay, so he goes on and then actually catalogs a number of...
He didn't say that they started a sea defense war.
Well, he didn't say that.
But we added a lot of other things that were not there to it. Okay, so but you see, for me, governance is a continuum. You come to meet something, if it is worth your while, you continue and do it. Let me say that I will want to go back to what the chiefs in the Southern Volta said. That, Mr. President, yes, you may be building some roads, you may be building a hospital, but our people are suffering. Governance is not about the road. Governance is not essentially about the hospital. The hospital is supposed to ensure that the people, the welfare of the people, the well-being of the people is met. So the primary focus must be on the people. The chiefs in the Southern Volta are telling His Excellency the President, our people are suffering. Our people are in dire straits. And it is all about the people. You remember in 2012, one of the slogans the NDC picked up was that you matter. Something, what did you say? The people, the people matter, you matter. Ultimately, so you built the hospital, and the man in Bantama, who lives across Konvanoche, does not have money in his pocket to go. Cannot go because when you go, the health insurance will tell. Yesterday I was in Kolibu. A colleague pharmacist told me that the hospital dispensary says we will not take the insurance card. Today, the word in the hospital is that it does not cover. That is the new balance. The Legon Hospital in my constituency does not take the insurance card. So you build the hospital and the people have access. Access is not only geographical. Access has two components. There is a geographical component and there is a financial component.
I'll let him come in here.
So, it is about the people.
Okay.
I think that we are taking the cues from the chiefs in the Volta region. The people are not doing well. And we vote because of the people.
Okay, Mr.
When
Maliba,
we were in power, the people did well. Please remember and vote NPP.
Mr. Maliba, quickly.
Ghanaians should look at the numerous developmental projects that are going on. The MPP speaks with double tongue. Initially, they said we had contracted loans, but they cannot see anything we use the loan for. When we started showing them the loans and the project, what the loans were used for, they came back to say that, oh, but these projects do not affect the lives of the people. These projects will definitely affect the lives of the people. When we build schools, it means that the child who used to trek 10 kilometers to attend school will now have a school at his doorstep. That is development. The roads, dusty roads are now turned into asphalt roads. That is development. As for the money in their pockets, I want to side with the president. In 2017,
wait for 2017.
All these projects will begin to bear fruits, and then you will begin to fill your pockets. Ask yourselves, Ghanaians, whether an opposition in the form of the MPP, which is in disarray, is ready to take up reins of government.
All right, thank you very much.
The MPP is in disarray. They have no message. You can't even find out what their message is. The last time I found out, it was okay,
thank you. Thank you,
but
Mr. Maliba.
You have gone on election. You have gone on election, and all you said is that it's a big.
We are finished.
Time is up.
We are finished.
Thank you very much, Abraham Maliba and Honorable Emmanuel Shamanteja. We'll see you next.
Give them a message.
In fact, we'll see you
Election
tomorrow.
is about
Give them a message.
Okay, we are done. We'll see you tomorrow.